What is this? Is this game good? Yes. That was easy. We'll watch the tips video, and then we'll watch that afterwards if the servers are still not up. But we'll see what's gonna happen, okay? Or they can make Blizzard. Well, no, I mean, like, here's the thing, right? Is that, like, if they remade WoW, like, yeah, it would be a huge investment, but I think it would be the right thing for them to do. How much of the actual time do I have? Well, I don't know. I mean, it depends, like, how much when the servers come up. Like, we're just waiting. Bronze Dragonflight does an anti-cataclysm. Well, they need to do something to just completely reset the entire game. And one way or another, they need to do that. Okay, let's go ahead and start this.
It's December 2021. Peeking through the window of your poorly lit man cave,
You look out upon a desolate wasteland. Donald Trump had declared war last winter with Russia, and at this point, there's few and far civilizations, and nobody has any internet or running water. I can't go any farther with that.
you stare aimlessly at the falling white cold piling up on your lawn. A few feet behind you, a monitor beams bright, the shape of a man at its center. It's your level 60 warrior. Standing tall and proud, your character wields a Might of Menethil and casually dons a full set of Dreadnought armor.
Of course.
You finally achieved your childhood dreams.
Yep. Now what?
Now what?
Exactly.
It's a scenario we've all run through our heads 1,000 times. After all, vanilla has ended once before. And the more time we spend thinking about this inevitability, the more our imaginations run wild. So although I've never been a fan of putting the cart before the horse, I do think it's justified to ask the dreaded question on many of our minds.
What
happens to classic WoW when Naxx, the final raid in vanilla World of Warcraft, is on farm? Possibility number 1, the Burning Crusade.
Yep.
Probably the most intuitive path forward.
That's what makes sense.
With Blizzard finally validating the business case of Classic WoW, it would make sense for the corporation to capitalize on Classic's success by re-releasing its spiritual successor. And seeing as a large portion of the Classic community is just as fond of TBC as they are vanilla, I think it's safe to assume the majority of Classic players would love to continue their Warcraft journey into Outlands. Development costs of the venture would be relatively low, all things considered, and Blizzard could use TBC Realms as another incentive for Classic fans to purchase modern WoW expansions. The whole idea is pretty risk-averse and financially prudent. But believe it or not, TBC is not the only path forward for Blizzard. There are a few other scenarios that I could see taking place post-Naxx, with one scenario gaining momentum within the community in these past few months. This scenario is called Patch 1.13. Possibility number 2, Patch 1.13.
Warriors can charge in combat.
While TBC servers seem like the intuitive go-to post-Naxx, I've been noticing that the Patch 1.13 movement has been gaining steam online. Rather than progress into World of Warcraft's first expansion, some players are requesting that Classic WoW continue beyond the Necropolis with additional level 60 content in what has been colloquially referred to as Patch 1.13. In this patch and beyond, Blizzard would release content that was originally intended for vanilla but never had a chance to fully develop prior to the Burning Crusade. Some examples of this unfinished content are the Emerald Dream, the Dragon Isles, and the Karazhan Crypts. Developing this content would allow players...
Wait a second, let me look at that. I never saw that picture before. Holy shit. Wow. Damn. Yeah, I didn't even see this at all. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, they should have done this. I straight up have not even seen. There's videos of this place? I've never seen it.
Dragon Isles and the Karazhan Crypts. Developing this content would allow players to continue progressing in the vanilla world pre-Outlands, but with new content to keep the experience fresh. I've got to be honest, when I was first making this video, I thought this idea was a bit outlandish, no pun intended. After all, I'm no changes. But even on the business side of things, investing millions of dollars into development of an unproven concept when you have a fully developed, surefire hit available in the pipeline is the opposite of prudent. But then I remembered a sad yet important reality in today's world: real money transactions and DLC. Back in 2004, DLC was not as nearly common
I love
as it is
DLC.
today. Games
It's
as a
my
service
favorite.
wasn't as viable a business model, as the internet was still in its infancy.
To spend money
But in
for a
today's
game
world,
I already bought.
why wouldn't a corporation, especially Activision Blizzard, who made a whopping 60% of their revenue from microtransactions
love this
last
picture,
quarter,
man.
pursue
This
a
is a great
DLC
picture.
option before advancing to the next expansion? Patch 1.13, 1.14, and 1.15 could all be separate DLC packs, each costing $30 to $40,
GameStop
and could prolong
exclusive.
user subscriptions for the next expansion's
Who the fuck goes
release.
to GameStop?
It's a cynical thought, but in today's world, it wouldn't really surprise me. I'm not a fan of DLC, or any form of in-game transaction in a subscription-based game. So let's hope things don't come to this. After all, there are still other routes that Blizzard can take. Possibility number 3, fresh or seasonal servers. If you've been observing the phenomenon of unofficial realms, you may
Unofficial realms. I think they should do this. They should do at least 2 of these. They should make fresh realms, and they should make TBC realms, in my opinion. 1.13, hey, I mean, that could go either way. I really can't say how great that would be or not. It's really kind of scary for me to think. But yeah, I think they should absolutely do fresh realms, because that gives people like something to look forward to. It creates hype again, and I think it would be exciting, right? So yeah, I would like to see that. 1.13 sounds better than TBC to me. Well, people like feel differently about it. For me personally, I'd like to see TBC, but I'd be curious to see what 1.13 would look like if Blizzard wanted to do it. I mean, I'm curious. I'm not saying I want them to do it, but I'd be curious, like, what would that even be? Because the problem with 1.13, right, is that you're going to have a point where characters just get so powerful because of the Naxx gear. Naxx gear is already, like, really, really good. And it's going to be a situation where basically, like, the more hit rating you have, or let's say, the more strength you have, the more the critical strike rating helps you, right? Because you do even more damage. So they scale on top of each other. So if you have a bunch of different tiers, you're going to have the same issue that you have in current WoW, where people's power growth throughout the expansion becomes massive. And I don't know how they can counteract that. Yeah, they'd have to do like an item squish or something. So I don't know.
have noticed a recent trend in player preference, the willingness
Tier
of players to
3.5, yeah,
abandon
something
high-level
like that.
characters on long-established realms in lieu of a fresh server experience.
Yep.
I've noticed this trend catching fire in the past 18 months or so, with private servers rising to meet the demand. It's somewhat counterintuitive, the idea of spending hundreds of hours leveling to 60 and gearing up, only to start all over again on a different server. Yet there is something to be said about the fresh server experience. The feeling of rushing through the starting zones, trying to get ahead of the pack, and the fact that you start on the same level as everyone else
I would re-level
is
fresh
enticing.
every time.
Maybe the future of Classic WoW is simply more Classic WoW, with new servers released periodically to reinvigorate players looking for a fresh
This should happen
experience.
regardless.
This scenario might seem unlikely, but logistically speaking, it's actually the easiest. No development costs would be required, the community would remain unsplit, and Blizzard wouldn't have to worry about supporting two versions of Classic alongside the modern game.
Exactly.
I'd call it the lazy boy route if it weren't for possibility number 4. Possibility number 4, nothing. Classic WoW stays as is. In the unlikely event that Classic WoW flops, and J. Allen Brack was right all along,
you think you do, but you don't.
It's probable that Classic Vanilla is all we'll get. That means a permanent patch 1.12.2, the last patch of Vanilla, where full Tier 3 could become as ubiquitous as this dumb meme. And as somebody who's wanted Classic Realms since Wrath, I'm totally okay with that. Sure, I would love to venture onwards into the Burning Crusade, an expansion I didn't get to play much back in the day, but it's really always been about Vanilla for me, even if it means a stagnant 1.12.2 realm. If you're worried that option number 4 means that Blizzard could shut down the servers and abandon the project entirely, don't be. During an interview with PC Gamer at BlizzCon, J. Allen Brack stated the following: I think there will be a lot of tourists, but it doesn't matter what I think, because once we're committed to doing this at a Blizzard level, which we are, whatever happens is going to happen. If millions of people show up and play for years, that's awesome, and if just tens of people show up and play for years, we're fine either way. What's important to us is that we have this classic experience people can enjoy, that people do have the opportunity to go back to. From this statement, I think Blizzard's commitment to the longevity of Classic is clear, so regardless of how the game performs, I don't think you need to be worried about having your progress wiped. So with all
Here's the difference between that and Heroes of the Storm. WoW used to be good, Heroes of the Storm never was.
These possibilities available post Naxx, which one do I think is the most likely? Well, first and foremost, I do believe that Classic
BC.
WoW will be
It's
a
BC,
resounding
obviously.
success,
Obviously
possibly
BC.
even more so than the original vanilla game. So that takes option 4 off the table. Additionally, I believe such success warrants more investment into Classic servers, and the byproduct of this investment would be some kind of post 1.12.2 content, eliminating option 3 as well. Now, I do want to note that option 3, periodic fresh servers, is not mutually exclusive to developing TBC servers or patch 1.13. So it's entirely possible we see option 3 continue in parallel to options 1 or 2, which brings us to the final showdown. If Classic WoW is successful, will Blizzard transition into the Burning Crusade and possibly Wrath of the Lich King, or will Blizzard choose to develop 1.13 content and beyond for the original Classic game? If you go back and read the post-BlizzCon interview transcripts, I think the answer is pretty clear.
Okay,
sure,
what are they saying?
Patch 1.13 content could be sold as DLC, could prolong subscriptions, and could satisfy vanilla loyalists with unexplored content. But at what cost? Millions of dollars in development for starters, not to mention extensive testing and quality control. Marketing expenses could pile up as well to promote the new content, and perhaps most importantly, there's always the risk of upsetting the core vanilla audience Blizzard sought to recapture in the first place.
Killing an entire pack of mobs and an elite.
Blizzard could make a decent amount of money off of post 1.12.2 DLC packs if they wanted, but that's assuming everything goes well, which, as we know in games development, is seldom the case.
Never
That's
happens.
why, in my opinion, if Classic WoW does succeed, the surest way forward is to release Burning Crusade servers while giving vanilla fans the option of maintaining their characters on the original realms or copying characters over to the new TBC
Obviously.
realms. Additionally,
Fucking
as
obviously.
I've stated before,
that's exactly what I
vanilla
think they
realms
should do
could
too.
be rolled out sporadically in parallel to satisfy the demand of the fresh server experience.
Goddamn
Financially
right.
and logistically, this option makes the most sense. But what do you guys think? Do you think Blizzard will take the Burning Crusade route, the patch 1.13 route, or perhaps another route entirely? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments. And of course, for more Classic WoW news, content, and discussion, join our Discord community, linked in the description below. We're barely 2 days old, and we've already hit 150 members. So if you want to join our rapid growing community, just go ahead and click on the invite link in the description, and we'll chill. Enjoy the rest of your day, fellas. And as always, tips out, baby.
Here's the way I look at it, right? I get what he's saying, right? I totally do agree. But I think 1.13 content would be interesting to see. Like, not even that I want him to bring it out, but I just want to see what it would look like in a hypothetical world. I am just so concerned about them ruining the game, right? Because, like, imagine if they bring out 1.13 and it fucks up Classic. That would be awful. Do you guys actually want a straw poll on this? Like, we can do it. I mean, if you guys want. Okay, you know what? Let me go ahead and set this up. All right. Yeah, I already lost that one. Okay. Which one would you prefer? Okay. Let's see. TBC. 1.13. And fresh servers, we're just going to assume that people want fresh servers. I don't really see that as ever being a negative to anybody. So yeah, I think fresh servers would be fine. Seasonal, yeah, no, because I think that seasonal servers are going to happen regardless. Blizzard would be stupid to not do seasonal servers. Because a lot of people, it's just literally all you're doing is creating the hype all over again by doing the same thing you've already done. Like, it's easy. You literally just turn back time. Yeah, there it is. Okay, let's see what we've got. So we've got TBC. A lot of people want 1.13. I'm actually surprised that it's as divided as it is. I expected TBC to be like 80%. But there's a lot of people that actually do want to see new vanilla WoW content. I think that there's a lot of, like, mystery that is involved with vanilla WoW. And so whenever you actually see the opportunity to maybe explore some of that mystery, a lot of people would want to see that. I fucking understand that entirely. But I don't know if that would really be the right decision to make. Yeah, you lied. Okay, I'll link it one more time, okay? But it seems like it's about, 1.13 is like 2/3 of TBC. That's pretty much it. Make a new game on PC, on mobile. Well, I think they should make a new WoW. Like, they need to figure out a way to remake the game. there's too much bloat in the game now, and until they fix that bloat, we're not going to have anything like we had before. All right, that's my opinion. Overwatch MMO, we'll see what happens, but that's my opinion. Is I think they should just redo the entire game. They need to have like, okay, sorry, they should have done that in Argus. Like, yeah, Sargeras won and everybody's dead now, and yeah, we went back to vanilla, and so all your shit's deleted now, and yeah, that'd basically be it. Right, you kill. It's like kind of prestiging, you know. You kill Argus and you prestige into the new game. That would be fucking great. I actually thought one of the things that they could do, like this might sound kind of crazy, but what I thought they could do in Argus is they could make you go to Argus, and since time passes differently in Argus, they could make it in the world. They could move Azeroth forward like 70 years in the future, and just like change everything up and, you know, remove all the stuff that we used to have. And that's how like Terralion was fighting for so long in Argus, for like thousands of years or whatever the fuck, is because time passes differently in Argus. Yeah, like Interstellar or something like that. Yeah. Old characters would be Pog. Yeah, I don't know. I know that might sound crazy, but that's what I would do. At this point, I think they should stop making WoW expansions, and they should make Warcraft 4, and then make WoW 2, follow the events of Warcraft 4. That would, in my opinion, be a perfect timeline. That's what I want to see. Okay? Like, that is what I really want. Okay? Do you guys like that idea? Yeah, I would love to see Warcraft 4 come out, okay? If Warcraft 3 Reforged does well, hopefully that will give Blizzard the confidence to maybe reinsert themselves and reinvigorate the RTS genre and make a fucking Warcraft 4. Yeah, I mean, if it does well, I don't see why they shouldn't make Warcraft 4.